So I've been working like 1,000 hours a week lately, which is just great. I'm not complaining. That's, it lets me afford all this crazy stuff. But it doesn't give me the time I want for my toys. But by a stroke of luck, I have run into, at this point, all of the Age of Apocalypse figures at Walmart's. Strangely, just at Walmart's. I've seen evidence of the Spider-Man wave, just the one there figure. Saw my first What If figure somewhere too recently. That was cool. All the Eternals. This seems to be a Target thing. But what I wanted to talk about, something interesting. I pre-ordered this whole wave, the Age of Apocalypse wave, on Hasbro Pulse, day one, like hour one, because you got to be there. You got to be on that. But the day that I'm finding them at the stores is the day I get delay notifications from Hasbro saying, how about December for those toys? Which, COVID, they're just toys, delays, I get it, it's fine. Except all the other major retailers have them, other people have them, all the stores have them, and I suppose they'd be higher on the list, but it ultimately translates to just stuff on the shelves for Joe Blow, What about the people who pre-purchased? Day one, man. What about us? Didn't I make a video or something to this effect? Anyway, just calling you out, Hasbro. Delay the toys. Fine, but yeah, I'm trying to have a channel over here, bro. I'm trying to have a channel where I review these things. So anyway, what am I complaining for? I got them all here, and then maybe I'll just cancel that pre-order with you. Thanks for nothing. I mean, thanks for the toys that I got from Walmart. So thanks, Sam Walton. But I do have the whole wave now, which is super cool. Super cool. Gonna try to review all of these to get to that juicy hog Colossus. And today we're doing the Iceman. Okay, getting a little closer. Even though the shape of the box is just crazy, the presentation is really nice. It looks clean in there. You're like, why would you even want to open that, man? Look at what is happening. Except for this giant disembodied metal arm. You need to get him out of there and together. Call it Mitch all together. Call it Pete all together. So yeah, look at this. You get this nice mouthless man inside of there. Artwork on the side, looking solid. Same thing over here. Don't say that weird made up word about it. This, and then the full-blown thing here. We get to see all the characters in the wave, and yeah, friend who really pays attention to this stuff. Here we go. There's a bunch of nothing about Iceman. Good times. Catastrophic, dystopian, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. Old Toby triple incision. And yeah. Just let me in there. Super flap. See ya. Step forward. Robert Drake, known as Iceman. Drake is an Omega-level mutant with the ability to lower the ambient temperature of water vapor by reducing the kinetic energy on an atomic level. He is able to control and manipulate ice, as well as turn his entire body into an organic version of it. The potential applications of this are far-reaching, very much earning him that Omega designation, a fact that was probably not lost on Professor Charles Xavier when he recruited young Bobby for his original team of X-Men. In the timeline created by David Haller's Mistake, it was Eric Lensher, Magneto, who trained Bobby as a soldier in his war against Apocalypse. In a different time, and raised with a heavier hand, this version of Bobby Drake is a different man. A harder man. Colder, perhaps? Okay, I'll stop. So, Iceman was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and debuted in 1963's X-Men #1, but we first meet this version of the character in X-Men Alpha. Looking real cool. He is scrumptiously sculpted in this translucent blue plastic. You gotta see it in person. It's like Crater Lake, man. It really is that blue. I mean, he's looking tasty. Really getting in there. We get this nice new head sculpt. They've done this frosting. He looks good enough to eat again. He's got this overlay on the back here, and this time I believe it's glued down versus that older release that has something similar, but it is in fact not the same. He does share the forearms, hands, calves, and feet with that older, modern-ish Iceman, circa, mid 2000s. What am I thinking of? Wolverine and the X-Men, good stuff like that. Jason Aaron, woo! So we get these nice sculpted ice effects on the shoulders, frosted chest, and this blue plastic. It looks really good. And it is all over. You can see this is frosted here. It looks really nice. I mean, this looks like pre-rendered backgrounds from a Final Fantasy video game. Little icy toenails. Again, we've seen these feet before, but they still look no less nice. And we're not going to skip over these because some other figure you may or may not have that came out 10 years ago or whatever doesn't. Anyway, the deco it's really clean. This is a nice looking figure. Guy's kind of a jerk. Spider-Man's amazing friend, this is not. For articulation, head on a ball joint. Back movement is restricted by this piece here, but you still get a good range, down quite a bit. It's got a really nice cut on that for the hinge. And shoulders, ball jointed, swinging all the way around, arms come up to here. Inexplicably though, there are no butterfly shoulders, as we've seen on the 2 previous iterations of Iceman. Unbelievable! You do get the bicep cut, twisting all the way around, double jointed elbows, not yet pin lips, but those will come all the way up. Get both sides of that thing manipulating. Sometimes one end gets caught. Hinges at the wrists. Device temperature is currently too high. Please pause shooting for a while to bring it down. We have ab crunch here. Forward this far. Back a little bit, but not... Yeah, sure. Plenty of that. Waist twists all the way around. Thighs. Upper cut here. Legs coming out this far. And forward. And back. Back. You can get that. It's restricted by his sculpted half cheek. But nothing major there, double jointed knees. Them slender legs comes way up here. And here are these calves we've seen again with these nice sculpted detail in them. Where else would you put those? You know what I mean? Great reuse right there, I think. They could have added a cut here. Did not. Gonna live with it. I think that no, that last one did though, and they shouldn't go backwards, man. You shouldn't go backwards, Hasbro. But hinge and swivel at the feet here. Got that good bit of rocker. So you can be here and lean way out here and still have a flat foot on the ground. Woo! So while the articulation is solid, it's missing 2 pieces from the last release of Iceman and 1 piece from the version even before that. I don't fully understand the decision there. I think it's something like, what am I doing? Let's speculate like an asshole. Old Tuvok, I do not engage in idle speculation. It's how we reach conclusions and things like that, man. I don't know. Is there like a budget for the wave, you know what I mean? And they decide who gets what, and maybe adding that articulation there would affect like some extra paint on the Colossus figure. Looking at those arms now, it doesn't look like he has any kind of wash on any of the stuff I see though. So what are you gonna do? You could be like Todd in these killer sculpts on these DC Multiverse toys with like 2 colors of paint on the whole thing. But, it's easier to add paint later than it would be to add sculpting detail. So, what are we even talking about, man? I'm talking about the articulation. It's fine. Could be better. You shouldn't subtract articulation that was on a previous figure, a previous iteration of the same figure, though. Even. Guys, who's with me here? All 5 of you watching. Thank you, though. Love you guys. For accessories, though, he does come with Carnage's hands cast in that same translucent blue. They look great, though. They fit, and just looking at that thing again, doesn't he look good enough to eat? He also comes with this frosty butt blast accessory. No, he doesn't. All right, measuring blue magic here. He is about 6 5/8 of an inch. For some figure comparisons, we'll start with a couple other iterations of the same character. You can see on the left here, we have the more recent take, the classic Iceman. And it's just, he looks really solid. The color is great, and the articulation, it's got everything you'd want from a modern Marvel Legend. The one further to the right is a release from several years back, and it is the more modern version, circa sort of Wolverine and the X-Men 2010s era. I would have preferred they had used a base body more like the one on the left for the articulation, but for the sculpted effects on the one on the right, you can see why they'd go with that, as that's more in keeping with the Age of Apocalypse look. Color's still wrong, though. But you can easily get the sense that it is the same character. I mean, I think. He can turn himself into ice. He can look like whatever he wants. Here we have Ice Boy and the Candy Men. On the left here, this is the teenage version of Bobby Drake from the classic X-Men 5-pack. And on the right, it is his wavemate Shiro, Sunfire, the other translucent plastic character. And they both look great by virtue of that. Interestingly, it is Sunfire who shares the same body mold as the 90s Iceman that I would prefer. But he's also got the arms from the Human Torch. Seems to be working just fine. And here we have a couple Age of Apocalypse versions of his classic classmates, Hank McCoy and Jean Grey. They really look great together. The more of these you get, you know what I mean? We're just nerdgasming all over the joint. And for some standard size comparisons, we have the Marvel Legends Too Emo for Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee Mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Stepping outside the line, we have the Blue Man Group on a comeback tour. That is the Hasbro Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger and the NECA Ninja Turtles cartoon Leonardo. Gotta love those turtles. And just for fun, here is the Little Dark Lord and Little Lord Fauntleroy. This is the Marvel Universe Modern Apocalypse, as well as the classic X-Factor Iceman. Sans belt. I thought he looked better that way.
We'll use the machine and make her my slave.
So in summary, I am enjoying this figure. The translucent plastic looks really nice. That head sculpt and the frosted effects, especially on that back piece, it looks great. That is a really clever reuse of those Carnage hands. And, you know, even bringing back those pieces from that older Iceman. That's just fine. But, even though I like that blue, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Those Age of Apocalypse comics, he's actually colored white, maybe with some lighter blue highlights. Nothing like this. And further, they've subtracted 2 points of articulation just from the last Iceman figure that was recent and retro carded and almost seen by some people as lesser. Am I making that up? Am I just I love that figure. I love that Iceman figure. That's a really good baseline. They're using that on Deadpool, some other places, whatever. I would like to still be given these numbered rankings. We're trying to revamp that whole thing. So bear with me as I iron out the kinks there. I think we should do a smaller system. It's like people will just a de facto out of 10. But that leaves a lot of room, and nothing seems to get below a certain point. You know what I mean? So if they're all 7 through 10s, what's the point of any of that? What about an out of 5? You know, with 2.5 just being just middle of the road. I think with that as a scale, we're gonna try that for now. I'm gonna have to give this guy a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. You took too much articulation away, and the blue is all wrong. But I do enjoy it, and he's a worthy addition to my Age of Apocalypse shelf, in air quotes, because I'm just playing with them on the couch over there. Whatever. I'm very excited to have these Age of Apocalypse toys. And, you know, in your head, you're like, well, what are the other ones that are missing here? Surely enough for a third wave of them, yes? Maybe next year? God, you know, I have the Sugar Man. That's the only Build-A-Figure that I have all the pieces for that I've never built. It's just disgusting, man. I don't even want to do it. Oh, I took all the pieces out just today, actually. They're over there in a heap. Ugh. But hey, thank you guys for putting up with me. It means a lot that you're here. Leave a like. It'll help out the channel, and it'll make me feel good. And hit that notification bell. Rock the bells. I'll see you guys next time.
When I picked you up off the floor of that toy room, these boys wanted to eat you. They never tasted translucent blue plastic before. I saved your life.